Hey there everybody, Bradley's Fan 9 here, back with another Pogo video. This one I'm going to teach you about cooldown. I've had a lot of questions about this, with Pokemon fleeing on people. What does cooldown even mean? Is it risky? Will you get banned for it? And I'll cover most of that for you here, or all of it I guess. Alright, so right now I'm sitting in Pier 39 in San Francisco, one of my favorite places and most other spoofers' favorite places to chill. Always lured up stops, tons of Pokemon. So when it comes to cooldown, you can go anywhere in the world after 2 hours of inactivity, but there is some leeway in between. If you're within 1,400 kilometers of somewhere, it'll be less than 2 hours. So for a quick reference guide, here's a chart showing all the cooldown and distances. So as you can see there, 1,400 or better is going to be 2 hours away, but if you're just teleporting 10 kilometers, it would only have to wait 6 minutes until you could catch something. Now in the settings, I would turn on the record last action option there, and that will tell the game when you did the last thing, either spin a stop like this or catch a Pokemon, and it'll keep track of when you did that, so then it'll tell you how long you'd have to wait in cooldown when you're checking Pokemon. So for an example here, I'm going to show you that I'm going to spin a stop, catch Pokemon in San Francisco. Because people think I don't have to wait for cooldown and stuff, but I just know how it works, so if you watch this, it should be able to help you here. So as you can see, I spun a stop. You can look in your journal to see when you last did something. So as you can see, 12:48 Omanyte was caught, but there are things that won't affect it. You could like accept research, and if your research was a Pokemon you could catch that without affecting your cooldown. If you get a screenshot Smeargle or Pikachu, it'll spawn, but you could catch it without locking yourself anywhere. As well as sending gifts. You could even raid and not catch the Pokemon, and the game still wouldn't have tracked where you were. So you could raid, don't find a shiny, and run away if you want and go somewhere else in the world, and your cooldown wouldn't have been affected. But as you can see here, I'm going to teleport to Larvitar. I just caught something in San Francisco, so here's a 100% Larvitar. And this is what most people tried to do. They'll try to catch them, and then you'll flee right away. That's what'll happen if you didn't wait long enough in cooldown. So that means every time you do that, every time you do something in an area, that's basically what soft ban is right there. You even try to spin a stop and it'll just keep spinning, not give you items and just stay blue. That's what soft ban means. And as far as being worried about it, I accidentally soft ban myself all the time, and there's no long-term effects from it, and I haven't gotten a strike or anything. No worry about getting banned, so I wouldn't worry about that at all. The worst part is you just have to reset your cooldown timer every time you do it. So if you waited an hour and 50 minutes and then tried to catch a Pokemon that was more than 1,400 kilometers away, then he would run away, and now you'd have to wait another 2 hours before you could go somewhere else to catch something. So as you see, I teleported to his 100% Ziggs again. Tried it again, and he flees just like the other one did. But people might think they're stuck at this point, like, oh, I gotta wait 2 hours before I could do anything now? That sucks. But what you can do is, as long as you remember where you caught your last thing, or where you did your last action. You see they ran away there, but the Omanyte was the last thing I caught. So if you remember where you caught your last Pokemon, like that Omanyte, then you're actually able to just go back there. And because the game still thinks you're over there, that's why you can't catch things over here like this. So we're going to go back to San Francisco. Here we go, I got it on my favorites list, so I can easily go back there all the time. You can set your home location, which is pretty handy. So if you're catching things double tap on the screen or tap a stop or something when you're looking at the map, and you can get the option to set as home location, and then every time you look at the map and hit that little house symbol, it'll teleport you right to that location. So then you can always remember where you were safe to catch things. So say you go to Brazil, you start catching stuff, set that as your home location. So then if you start teleporting somewhere else and don't remember where you can actually go back to, you just go back to your home location. As you can see here, I went back to San Francisco after having those Pokemon flee on me, and this one didn't flee on me. I was able to catch them. That's because I'm in the same area I was before. I'll show you spinning a stop as well. There you go, still get items. So if everything keeps fleeing on you, just go back to the last place that didn't have something flee on you, or wherever you spun. So basically wherever you did your last action, you could always resort back to there and continue playing the game without things running on you. But if you want to continue teleporting around the world, you'd have to wait. Like if you're going to San Jose, you probably only have to wait 30 minutes until you could teleport there and start catching. But honestly, there's not too many places under 2 hours. Like one side of California to the other is going to be a 2-hour wait. So you can imagine if you're going all over the world, you basically just have to wait 2 hours. But you could just go start shundo checking or doing other things. So you could keep checking for a shundo, and if you find one, then you could just sit on the screen and wait until your cooldown's over. So you could still do things around the world, but you just can't interact with them. As you see, just showing you that now I teleport somewhere else and it runs away again. So just more proof that what cooldown means. I'm sure this kind of gave you a good example now. Should have answered a lot of questions, and I'll show you a few more extra things here. You'll notice when you go to teleport places or looking at Pokemon and raids in the snipe function, it'll show you cooldown from last action. So that's what you could go off of if you turn on that option in the settings, like I said earlier, record last action, and it could tell you exactly how long you'd have to wait. Now if the Pokemon was close to San Francisco, it would tell me a way smaller wait time, as you can imagine, so you could kind of look through ones that are close to you. But that's just a way to judge. But now I'm going to spin a stop, and you'll see that it goes back to 120 minutes. Like that. So that means the cooldown gets reset every time you do something right. So there's the example right there. And when you tap all over the map to teleport to, it will also show you different times. I'll show you here. It'll tell you the distance and the time you have to wait to cool down. So you don't have to use that chart to calculate how long you have to wait if you're using this app. As you can see, it'd be 24 minutes to San Jose. Go down to LA, 77 minutes. So you can see the close by things will be under 2 hours, but go down to San Diego, it's going to be an hour and a half. So it doesn't take long to get to 2-hour wait times. So you can just kind of picture like a circle around your location of 1,400 kilometers in all around you, and that will be the 2-hour barrier. So you can see me just tapping around here. $118. And it says 118 because I've waited 2 minutes since I did something. But you get the point. Everywhere around there is 2 hours wait time. Now there are a few more tricks you could do with cooldown. I'll show you here. I'm going to go over to Sydney Opera House down in Australia. It's another good place to go. There we go, now we're here. One thing you could do, you can tap gyms and look at the Pokemon that are in there. You can't feed them any berries, that'll reset your cooldown. Same with trying to spin a gym, it's just like spinning a stop, but you can look at Pokemon in gyms. And you can also get a raid pass by looking at a raid boss. That's one thing. Like, I'll be making a video on time zones to fully explain that a little bit more, because it could be a little bit confusing. But if you were raiding in San Francisco, and then in Australia it's already the next day, like say it's, what is that, July 11th in San Francisco, so it'll be July 12th over here in Australia, so you could be out of raid passes, but teleport over here, and you could just look at the raid like that. You just have to tap it, and it would give you a free raid pass. Then you can just teleport back to San Francisco, and you'll have the July 12th free raid pass to use on July 11th. That's one little trick you could do with cooldowns. So that, nothing I did there affected my cooldown. So you could walk around and check stuff out like that, get a raid pass, look at Pokemon, and you'll be safe to just teleport back to, in my case, San Francisco, and continue catching Pokemon, grinding Stardust, looking for shinies, whatever you feel like doing. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope it taught you a lot on cooldown and covered a lot of questions you might have. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my other videos. Don't forget that option though. Turning that on will help you big time. Without having to calculate anything, the game will do it for you.